If you are allergic to poison ivy, and about 75% of the population is, you know how miserable this plant can make you. The rash, the tortuous itching, and the possible infection that can come from this evil vine and its evil cousins, poison oak and poison sumac, can be enough to make you scream. But there are ways to get rid of and even prevent this horrendous summertime anguish. Good morning, health-minded people. I'm Dr. Snow, and I teach you to be in charge of your own health, because other than God, no one knows as much about you as you should. Are you allergic to poison ivy? If so, you have probably learned exactly what this treacherous plant and its relatives, poison oak and poison sumac, look like. No? Well, the first thing you must know about getting rid of a poison ivy rash is to avoid getting one in the first place. And the best way to avoid getting poison ivy is to avoid the plant, so you must be able to identify it if you're going to be outside. Poison ivy and poison oak have the classic 3-leaf configuration, and the saying, "leaves of 3, let it be," applies. Both of these plants may grow as a bush or a climbing vine. Poison ivy has pointed leaves with serrated edges and grows in every state in the United States. Poison oak has leaves that are rounded with scalloped edges and is usually found in the Pacific coast states. Poison sumac doesn't follow the leaves of 3 rule and has 6 to 12 leaves running parallel on a stem. Poison sumac is only found in the eastern part of the U.S. If you see any of these plants, stay away. The poison urushiol is present in all parts of the plant. This is an oil-based substance that gets on your skin and causes the rash. If you do touch the plant, or if you think you do, you need to wash yourself and your clothing immediately. After about 10 minutes of contact, the oil begins absorbing into your skin and your window of time to prevent the rash starts to close. Remove your clothing and put them into the washer. Then take a lukewarm shower with a grease-cutting dish soap to remove the oil completely. Hot water may speed up the absorption, and while you should wash thoroughly, do not scrub hard enough to damage your skin, which may also increase the absorption of the oil. Wash clothing in warm water, and you may want to add a degreaser to help remove the oil. If you wash soon enough, you may be able to prevent the rash or at least lessen the severity of it. If you're learning something new, please hit that like button. But if you still break out in a rash, there are steps you can take to decrease the itch and possibly the time it takes to heal. The rash, if it's going to develop, usually appears in 8 to 48 hours after you've been in contact with the oil and may last up to 3 weeks. By the way, I've had patients who have come in with horrible rashes and don't know how they got it because they never go out into the woods. After some questioning, they tell me that they have a dog or a cat that does have access to a wooded area. Your pets may be carrying the poison ivy oil on their coat to bring back to you. If this ever happens to you, you either need to keep your animal in a fenced, no poison ivy area, or you need to find the poison ivy and kill it. If you are highly allergic to poison ivy, you should probably hire someone to find and kill the plant. Here are some things you can do to try to decrease the itching. Cold compresses may help. Soak and wring a towel in cold water and apply it to the rash. When the compress warms up, re-wet it with more cold water. You can add apple cider vinegar or lavender oil to the cold water to increase the anti-itch effect. You can also brew a strong black tea and add ice to soak the compress in. The tannins in the tea can be anti-inflammatory and soothing to the rash. But be aware that the tea will stain your towel, so use an old one or be prepared to own an off-dinge towel. Another effective treatment to help with the itching and dry out the rash is witch hazel solution. You can apply witch hazel on a cotton ball directly to the rash every few hours as needed for the itch. Oatmeal baths can help any itchy skin condition, including poison ivy rash. Colloidal oatmeal is available at your pharmacy, but it can be a bit pricey, so you may want to make your own. Put 1 cup of rolled oats into the blender and pulverize it to a fine powder. Pour this powder into a tub of warm but not hot water and soak in it as long as you can. Hot water can make the itching worse, so the water should be as cool as you can stand. If you choose to make your own oatmeal powder, make sure you grind it into a very fine powder like flour, or you'll have a mess when you drain the tub. Alternatively, you can grind it into a powder and place the powder into a small cloth bag, tie it shut, and drop it into the tub. The bag will contain the large particles and you won't have a mess in the tub. Calamine lotion can be used to soothe the rash and dry up the blisters. It can also decorate you with lovely pink spots. If the itch is driving you crazy, you may want to resort to an oral antihistamine such as cetirizine or diphenhydramine. But be aware that these can cause drowsiness, especially the diphenhydramine, so don't drive if you choose to take these. There are times when you will need to see your doctor to get rid of the poison ivy. If you have the rash on your face, especially near your eyes, if you have a rash on more than a quarter of your body, or if you have inhaled smoke from burning poison ivy, it's time to see your doctor, who will probably give you a steroid such as prednisone or a Medrol dose pack. If you found this information helpful, but you want more information on summertime health issues that you can usually treat by yourself, click and watch this now. Thank you for joining me today to learn how to deal with poison ivy. Stay healthy. Remember, leaves of 3, let it be, and have a blessed week.